Hey YouTube, I'm going to try and get caught up tonight on most of Emeek's back stuff. I'm going to start with one of his new videos tonight. I don't know if he'll approve my response to it, because as of late, he hasn't been approving all my responses. But I'm going to make it anyways, so here we go. Now, before we get into this, like he says, it's Transcendent Tie. It's $129 Mac Pro add-on. Now, there's like 3 things wrong with this right out the bat. Emeek insists that Apple doesn't have design flaws. Well, if it doesn't have a design flaw, how come we need to add more hard drives to it? I've been saying pretty much since day one I started posting videos, and for years before that, one of the biggest problems with the Macs is if you're doing any kind of serious pro work, you do not have enough hard drive space. The way a Mac is built, you can't get enough hard drive space. Emeek insists it's a good idea that Apple's taking absolute control of hardware and telling you what you can't have. Okay, if this is a good idea and so many people want it, and that's the sign. First off, if Apple made this, it'd be a $500 add-on, as evident by the fact that the RAID card's $700. Because that's not standard in a Mac. But this is something that somebody else had to go make, because years later, the Apple engineers still haven't figured out pro people need more than 4 terabytes. However shall we do that? Can we sell 2 terabyte drives? No, we won't sell 2 terabyte drives. Well, let somebody else fix the problem for us using laptop hard drives, which means they're still not going to get enough hard drive space for a lot of people's desires and needs. So let's look at this little thing and see what other defects it has.
Guys, Mike here from Insane the Great Mac. Today we're taking a look.
Okay, first off, take a look at this thing. Emeek spends endless hours talking about one of the things that makes a Mac superior is that you don't have cables dangling all over the place. Well, look at all these god-darn ugly cables all over the place from this darn thing. I guess cables all over the place aren't such a bad thing when they're done to improve a Mac. But anyone else having cables, ooh.
Got the DX4 from Trans International. And what this is a drive mounting system for Apple's Mac Pro. And that's what we have right here. We have a 2009 Mac Pro. Now, stock, the Mac Pro comes with 4 drive bays, and you can have each of these hold a 3.5-inch hard drive, a standard hard drive, eSATA hard drive, and normally I have 4 terabytes in there. I have 4 hard drives, 4 1-terabyte hard drives. What this allows you to do is to add 4 more hard drives, and they can be 2.5-inch hard drives, which are the hard drives that laptops use, and portable hard drives. Or you can use the SSD, the solid-state drives that are coming with the newer ones. Okay, so let's check out kind of how this works here. I started with it installed so you kind of visualize how this works. And, essentially, this is a really kind of cool design because this whole bracket right here just slides into the 3rd bay on your computer. Okay, so that's the only thing that's mounting it is the drive bay. That's pretty cool. There's nothing else in here. This is all loose. And in order to do this, so what I did is I removed the drive sled right here, and I took the hard drive out. So you might be saying to yourself, okay, well, wait a minute. This isn't going to really help me out too much because I'm losing 1 hard drive out of this. No, not at all. You can actually mount your 3rd hard drive right inside of this bracket. It actually is a sled for a hard drive. So I'll just kind of slide this out here. Okay, so as you can see...
Notice how easily that slides now.
right here. here is the hard drive. So we actually, did not lose a hard drive at all. I took my old hard drive that was on this sled right here and just popped it right into this sled. And this is it. It just slides right in, and then you hook up, your corresponding cables. We'll kind of walk through all this here in a second when we change our camera view. Okay, so we have a couple close-ups here. I just want to do a couple close-ups. First, here's the RAID card right in there. You can see in the PCI slot. I have this on the lower slot. And then here are all the eSATA connectors. And the other thing I want to point out here is, speaking of the PCI cards, if we can kind of visualize this right here, you can see how thick this is right here. This goes right up against your graphics card. So the thickness of this bracket only goes up to here. So it does not interfere at all with any of your PCI cards. It stops right up here. So that's a cool design. You don't lose any accessibility or any expansion inside of there. So here's actually the trickiest part of the installation, which is the power cable. We'll get a close-up of this in a minute. So what you need to do in order to get in here is, first you want to remove the top bay hard drive. So these just kind of slide out, just like so. And then this is the fan unit. And right inside here you have 2 screws, and you just unscrew those. They're just regular Phillips screws. And then this just kind of pops right out, just like that. This is a pretty cool design. There's no cables or anything. It's just like a little plug right there.
No, Emeek is not your standard PC motherboard from Newegg. It's a system that's a hell of a lot harder to work on the inside. You know what? As somebody who's actually had to work on Macs for people, I can equate it. I can equate this to a mechanics analogy, actually. Mechanics hate the way cars are going now. If you open a car's hood now and look at the engine, bonnet, for those of you in the UK, you'll notice everything's in this nice, pretty, clean plastic cover. It looks cool. It's annoying as hell if you actually have to get in there and do anything. You have to take covers off the battery, you have to take covers off the engine. And some of these, it actually leads to rust because water gets inside there and just stays there and never goes away like it usually would. That's what working on a Mac's like. I have to take all this junk out of here to get into what I actually want to screw with. And that's what working on a Mac is. So, I just thought I'd rant about this a little bit. I mean, am I the only one who thinks that this completely undermines Emeek's, thing that Macs are better? Well, let's see. To get on it, you have to be really comfortable taking things off that aren't intended to be taken off. This is a feature that Mac basically removed from their system that somebody else is now adding back on. And it's a feature that is, there in pretty much any PC case. I have yet to see a PC motherboard that has less than 6 serial ATA connections that was made in the last 3 years. Most have 8 or more. So, you already have everything you need to just add the hard drives, usually with RAID. The Mac, you have to go buy an add-on not made by Apple, and you're having to use laptop hard drives, which don't go up to 2 terabytes. Spend more money, do more work, get less. Thanks, Apple. Ciao all. Peace out.